Hello, Scorpio. What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your channel for grace. I'm excited to finally get back to doing these monthly readings. Last month, I was like very sick and didn't even get a chance to do them for Libra season. So apologize for that, but excited to be back here for Scorpio season. And of course, we're going to begin with Scorpio. The sun is literally about to move into Scorpio tomorrow. So right on time. I want to invite you to download my free moon astrology guide, which will tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. It'll enter you into my email list, which is the best way to stay in contact with me, to know about the special deals and to know about all the courses and events and everything that's going on. That's really the best ways to be on my email list. Also, check out the description. Follow me on Instagram at Channel for Grace and at Moon Goddess Training on Instagram. And what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to go through some of the main aspects that are going to happen for Scorpio season. And then we'll do a card reading, and I'll pull an intuition card, challenge card, overall theme, wisdom from the ancestors, and animal spirit card. And then we'll get the intuitive message, the channeled message, as well as the astrology for you. So if you are a Scorpio rising, this is going to be probably the most accurate in terms of the astrology, but look to the intuitive reading, the card reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Venus, and like any other planets that you really have in Scorpio. So again, without further ado, let us hop on over to your charts. Hello, Creatrix. Welcome in. Good morning. I'm going to share the screen with you so you can visually see what I'm talking about. And this is actually a very powerful season because we are going to officially move into eclipse season. All right, let's take a look here. Let me know if you guys can see the chart on the screen. Should be able to, but let's try this again. And there we go. So you should be able to see it. Here we go. Hello, Sherry. Welcome in. All right. So let's go over what is happening for you, Scorpio, this season and where it's affecting you, specifically Scorpio rising. So the first thing that's happening is tomorrow, obviously, the sun is moving into the sign of Scorpio, and that is your first house, which is what makes this your birthday month, right? It's because when you were born, your sun was in the sign of Scorpio. And so this is going to be, your rising, especially if you're rising and you do the whole sign houses, then you'll have the sun in the first house. But if you're not a Scorpio rising, then your sun may not be in the first house. Either way, the energy is that of identity, that of the light shining on you, on who you are. Especially, this is mostly for Scorpio rising. I don't want to get anybody confused. So definitely look at the video for your rising sign for the astrology and for the intuitive reading for all the other signs. But basically, the sun is illuminating this area of your life. So this is about your identity. This is about who you are. You get to shine. Like your light gets to shine really bright during this time. Hello, Shelly. Welcome in. I don't know about the rising and chart, but my birthday is November 13th. Well, cool. So you should find out what your rising sign is. You can find out on astro.com. And we'll do a card reading after I do the astrology. So that will be, if you're not a Scorpio rising, then that will be a powerful message for you in terms of Scorpio and Scorpio season. So that's the first thing that's going on. And that's tomorrow. Tomorrow, the sun moves into Scorpio. We're like officially in Scorpio season. And I was talking about this a little bit about how right now it is, a very powerful moment where the veil is thin. And so Scorpio season is really about like connecting at a deep level, like diving deeper, going into the underworld and exploring those things that have been buried. They come up to the surface so that we can see them and process them for you. The sun transiting your first house is about you like getting to know yourself a little bit better, diving deeper into that aspect of yourself. The next thing that happens is on October, the important things, because I have the highlights, right? Mars is going to enter the sign of Scorpio, and that is going to be on October 30th, and that is going to be in your third, or actually in your first house as well. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. So this is going to be Mars in the first house as well. So what's going to happen is Mars is your drive and your intuition. And so, and your, not your intuition, Mars is your drive and your motivation. So what's going to happen is your motivation and your drive to focus on yourself, to like initiate things, because the first house of Aries is also about initiating change, starting new beginnings. And you'll be inspired to focus really strongly on this area of your life, yourself. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot that's happening. There's a lot of planets and a lot of things that are happening in the sign of Scorpio this month. So for the Scorpio risings, this is all going to be happening in your first house. So think of this as the main theme for you for this month. So, and Mars in Scorpio is like relentless. It knows what it wants and it goes for it and it freaking gets it. It is such a powerful energy that we are going to see this month. On that same day, Venus enters her wholeness phase, and Venus is currently in your second house. She's in the sign of Sagittarius in your second house. So what this is the wholeness phase itself. Venus has 13 phases. I'm actually talking about this tomorrow in our lecture of the Moon Goddess training. And I have a whole course on Venus, the planet Venus and her cycles and her flows, and the Venus star that she makes. It's one of the most powerful modules that I've done so far in terms of the Aquarian astrology class, but I would highly recommend if you want to learn more about these phases. But she's entering a new phase, which is very significant. Now, the wholeness phase is she's still an evening star. She's still moving direct, but she achieves her maximum brightness, duration, height, and maximum separation from the sun. So she's the farthest away from the sun. The wholeness phase, Venus, since Venus is has these phases, she's kind of like the moon. And so when she enters this wholeness phase, it's like her full moon phase. That's why she's so bright in the sky. I've been posting some videos of Instagram. She's so bright in the sky right now. And it's because she is entering this wholeness phase, moving into this energy. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be amazing, Sherry. So during this phase, her velocity decreases to a standstill because I talked about this, I think, was it last night? I don't remember when. There's so much going on. Yeah, I think it must have been last night on the Magic of Venus. She's about to go retrograde, but she decreases to its standstill as she begins her final approach to Earth by the end of this phase. This is a 50-day phase. So for 50 days, she's going to be in this, like, she's going to be the brightest. It's going to be amazing. Like, take pictures of her in the sky and share them. When you have, this, what this energy affects us as a collective is that our dharma is about actualizing our individual potential in complete service to the betterment of the world. Hey, Sage. So at a deep level, what she is asking us to do is to actualize our individual potential, to really like stand up, to activate, so that we can be of complete service to the world, to the betterment of the world. So this is a beautiful energy that is coming in right as we enter Scorpio season. Well, not right as we enter on the 30th, but still a really powerful transit. And you'll see as we continue on and with all the different things that are going on in this season, you're going to be like, wow, this is a lot. This is heavy for sure. Then on November 4th, we have the new moon in Scorpio. And of course, again, that is going to be here in your first house. So the new moon is about setting intentions. Scorpio is that it's an intense energy that will guide you. It'll guide you to begin something new. It's really important to decide what you want to manifest. The Scorpio new moon is literally officially entering us also into eclipse season, because the full moon in Taurus is going to be an eclipse. And so what you're setting intentions for in terms of Scorpio rising is you want to know how you want to become a new you, what you want to create with yourself that allows you to be fully in your truth. And that's the power of what that moon is going to bring for you. Then Venus enters Capricorn on November 5th. So the next day after this new moon. And that's going to be, so she officially enters into your third house. So she enters a whole different energy. For you, the third house of communication, she's going to change her focus from grounding and finances and self-esteem to focusing on communicating clearly, but also communicating in the way that focuses on like your career and your life path. That's going to be the focus for you. And in terms of relationships, communication is going to be a big deal, because Venus will be in Capricorn for a long time. Remember, she's going to go retrograde and have her inferior conjunction with the sun in January. So like literally from this point, November 5th, all like past January, she's going to be in Capricorn. So it's a long transit, a long focus on this area of your life, communication. The next thing that happens is then Mercury enters the sign of Scorpio on that same day. And so that's again in your first house. That's a big deal because Mercury is the planet of communication. So, and Venus entered the third house of Mercury for you. So this is about focusing on communicating, but like speaking truth, really. Mercury in Scorpio is like the investigator. So it's about getting curious and discovering the truth and going to find the truth. But this is your own truth, because this is going to be in your first house. And then the month ends, or this, the special dates that I'm covering ends with the full moon partial lunar eclipse in Taurus, which will be in your seventh house. And that's the house of relationships. And because that's an eclipse, that is also going to be on the Pleiades and on the star Algol, which to a lot of astrologers, that star is like an evil star. But if you look deeper, right, that's the fear, the initial fear of like, oh, the Medusa star, right? Once you get past that initial shock of like, this is a very bad place for an eclipse to be, you realize that beyond that, this is the beginning of the Pleiades, which is like full heart center consciousness. When you get past that initial fear and shock of the intensity of Algol, you see the more you see the victim that Medusa was. You see the humanity of her. You see the vulnerability that really lives within. And then you realize that Algol, or Medusa herself, was really she became someone. She was turned into a monster, but she literally became someone who eventually defeated bad guys and negative energies. So that's interesting, right? Because it's almost like she was the darkness, but then the darkness, and you could think of this as being the darkness. That darkness eventually transmuted into light, and think of the two polarities. So for you being in the seventh house, it's going to bring up a lot of things in your relationships that you may be kind of trying to avoid or wanting to avoid. But at the same time, an eclipse itself is revolution and change. So it begins a cycle, like a 6-month cycle. So this is where we begin to practice allowing us to really let go and release and step into a whole new energy. Because next year, when the nodes are about to move into Scorpio and Taurus, so this is going to be a big deal for all of us, for the collective. This is the first sort of taste that we get of that. So for some of us, if we're in our fear, it's going to be really intense. And then for the rest of us, if we're willing to take it a little bit further, to look beyond that initial fear and that shock, you'll see the power that is this star Algol, and the energy of the Pleiades and the seven sisters, and also the triple goddess is also a part of this energy. And I'll be talking more about this obviously when we get closer to the date, but it's a big deal because officially we enter Scorpio season. So the main houses, and there's just like a few areas of your life that are going to be significant. So we're looking at the first house. We're looking at Venus entering the wholeness phase in your second house. We're looking at the third house that Venus enters the third, and then we're looking at your seventh. So this is your sense of self, your sense of security, your ability to communicate within your relationships. That's the biggest theme for you, Scorpio rising. And now I'm going to do the card readings. So for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and any other Scorpio energies, we're going to pull 5 cards: intuition, challenge, overall theme, wisdom from the ancestors, and animal spirit. Let me grab one book. And let's see what your spirit guides want to tell you. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, teachers, for being here with us today. I would like to ask help clearing the energy of the cards I'm going to be using, as well as my energy, so I can be that open channel for the wisdom, the grace, the intuition, and the messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising to come through these beautiful cards. All right. Interesting. We begin, I'll show you the cards in a moment, but I'll kind of tell you what they are, feeling into them. We've got the Hanged Man, so that's a major arcana. We've got the Four of Pentacles. We've got the Universe card, and which is another major arcana, and then the Seven of Cups. And I would love to pull the animal spirit for you for this month. What animal is going to guide Scorpio this month? And thank you guys for being here as well. I'm going to be going live kind of throughout the day here and there, and going through the different signs. And then I'll be live again tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for the mini reading. So if you want to sign up for a mini reading, you'll be able to do so as soon as I put up that video. But here we go. The Hanged Man. I mean, these are interesting energies, okay? The Hanged Man is about waiting. It's like a moment of pause. If you're going too fast, the Hanged Man says it's time to slow down. If you're already feeling kind of sluggish, it's because the universe is saying, well, this isn't really the time for action. This is more a time of reflection. So that's the first energy. That's intuitively, you need to understand that this season, the Scorpio season for you, Scorpio, is about pausing, paying attention, being present, and reflecting on everything that you see. Like, open your eyes, become more aware, consciously aware of everything that's going on for you. The challenge, this is an interesting challenge card, but the challenge for you is the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles can be lack mentality, but it can be like holding on to something that is not serving you. Like, I can't let it go because I'm afraid that I won't have enough if I let it go. This is an interesting energy. Greed, materialism, possessiveness are all qualities of the Four of Pentacles. So that's your challenge. You may want to really like dive deep and like just go into this energy. And the universe is saying, but you have to make some sacrifices. Like, you have to let go. This is Scorpio season. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, which is the tower. So you have to let the tower fall. Do not hold on to things because they will hold you back. And you don't want to hold yourself back, especially you don't want to resist eclipse season. Like, no way, not worth it. The overall theme is the universe. So the universe card is also the world card. And basically it says this is a moment of completion and a moment to connect with everything. It's like that higher perspective, that moment of pause that you are taking is going to let you see the big picture and going to help you understand. Like, stop. This woman is like in the picture, she's like holding her hands over her throat, like as she's choking herself. Stop choking yourself. Like, stop, don't create your own obstacles. That's the Four of Pentacles, creating obstacles for yourself, spiritual, mental obstacles, because of fear, because of lack, because of fear of lack, or fear that you don't have enough. You have everything you need. The universe is here to support you. This is a cycle that's being completed right now. This Scorpio season, something that you've been working on. Also, here's the thing. When we enter eclipse season, yes, it's the beginning of the next cycle, but it's also the ending of the last one. So think about what was going on, something in my eye, what was going on in your life that began 6 months ago is now ending. That's the completion that this card is bringing up for you. The wisdom from the ancestors is the card that is the Seven of Cups. So there's a lot of options. Hello, welcome in, Tess. There's a lot of options for you right now. The Seven of Cups can bring up the energy of like something feels like maybe it's not real. It's an illusion. It can bring up temptations for you, and it can distract you. So if there's so much going on in your life that you are not, that's distracting you, you need to bring your focus. That's why the Hanged Man. Pause. Just stop. Don't overwhelm yourself. Yes, there's a lot of options, and at the same time you need to focus. This is a month where you have to focus. So don't let things distract you, and pay attention. When Mercury enters Scorpio, it'll help you to mentally focus on like, does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. And you will have the backing of an investigative mind to really discover the truth. But everything going on right now in your life may be distracting you from the real truth. And the animal that you get for this Scorpio season, the next basically 30 days, is the horse. So this is so interesting because we start with the Hanged Man and we end with the horse. So towards the end of the season, you're going to feel like, if you allow yourself to be in that reflective space to think things through, pause, take a moment, don't rush through it, you'll feel that at the end of the month, it'll free you. The sooner you get to that work, you'll feel the release. And the horse is about momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. So that's what it becomes. That's what this moment of reflection, this moment of contemplation becomes. Momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. And look at the beautiful moon on the horse's third eye. The horse is also like high priestess energies. So what this is telling me is that towards the end of the month, where we reach that full moon eclipse, you'll feel like it won't be Hanged Man energy anymore. You'll be like, okay, now I'm free to move forward because I figured out, because I took the time to do everything I needed to do. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. This is also about grounding. It provides us with momentum so reliable, so supportive that you can ride on its back towards any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. I love that. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy. Holy shit, the Hanged Man. When we hone or collect our energy through daily practice. Wow. Physical stamina, exercise, and mental focus, meditation are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. That's badass, Scorpio. That's badass. So if you're in balance this month, what you're going to feel is like you are achieving what you want and you're not going to give up. Scorpio season is not about giving up. Scorpio doesn't give up, especially Mars in Scorpio. That's going to be intense. If you're out of balance, you're going to feel like you're going to want to run away. You're going to feel weak. That's the opposite of these energies. Being still, contemplating, meditating gives you the power and the strength to really move forward with action. So to bring to balance, do any kind of strength training. Anything that you feel that you're off balance in, you can bring back to balance by doing the opposite. So, and remember, we live in a world of polarity. So that's the power of these energies. So you guys, That was a really powerful reading. Thank you so much for being here with me live. Share this video out if you know any Scorpios that might be interested. And yeah, I'll be doing like the sign and then going to the opposite sign. So the next sign I'm doing is Taurus in a little while. So thank you guys so much. I will see you all again for this type of video during next season, which is going to be Sagittarius season. But this is basically going to give you the map for the next 30 days that starts tomorrow. So thank you, Scorpio. Love you. Check out all the links below and make sure you follow me on Instagram at Channel for Grace. And I will see you guys very soon. Satnam.